mama called, seen you on Twitter. Son said shit done changed. Ever since your first song, I bought it all. Ever since the first dip, they said it's tulip mania. Now they always say congratulations. Long so hard, avoided liquidation. They ain't ever have the hands or patience. We kept holding, never sold, and look, we made it. Yeah, we made it. They were never there, no, yeah. Now I'm jumping out the Lambo, yeah. And my life moves slow-mo, yeah. When I open Crypto Pro, yeah. I'm a genius with the finance, yeah. And I buy it all on Binance, yeah. Everybody wanna have it, yeah. But they didn't buy it last year, yeah. Everyone wishing that they had bought it. But it's too late now cause they can't afford it. They were too scared just to buy at the bottom. I was on BitMEX 100x long and yeah. You got BTC, then put your pledges to the sky. How can I make sense? I got Satoshis on my mind. Yeah, they call me crazy when I told them they should try. Now my family's in my inbox asking how to buy. My mama called, seen you on Twitter. Son said shit done changed. Ever since your first song, I bought it all. Ever since the first dip, they said it's tulip mania. Now they always say congratulations.
Happy birthday.
Baby, I am down, 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 down. Money printer dry, no pumps allowed. Down, down. You wanna know? I used to have a fat portfolio until Jerome said money printer going burn no more. We let it climb and we didn't take profits on the way. Inflation too high, so we gotta watch these bags bleed away. No baby, don't worry, don't put this on me. They told me I'm phony, then it all just started falling down. I told you I'm sorry, and I borrowed some money. Cause baby, I am down, 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 down. Baby, I am down, 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 down. Folio is gone, mortgage goes down. What should I do? I wanna sell the bottom now.
Hey, so I heard the leadership is going a little longer than planned. If anyone has anything to talk about.
Wait, was that Psy? What?
Yeah, I spoke for a change.
GM.
GM.
Sim, bom dia.
What up, the Smith? Well, who wants to talk? Little bit of oh, there you go. I was gonna say a little bit of exciting news just came up here after testing ThorSwap in app.shapeshift.com. I was able to trade ETH into Bitcoin, and it worked perfectly fine. So
It's
Swapper is now,
really good news.
yes, sir, getting very close.
Yeah, I heard about it in Myth Barcelona from Witty and Gomez. So yeah, I'm really excited to use ThorChain.
Definitely. Looks like there's a possibility that it might go in tomorrow's release as far as the swapper function for a couple pairs, not all of the pairs that we are expecting, but for definitely for a few pairs. So we will be working on that.
Yeah, that's a huge step, in terms of product. It's awesome. Congrats, dude.
Yep. They've been working hard for sure. What else? We're testing a little bit, not fully, some Avalanche stuff. We still have some work to do on that, but it's getting close. All right, I'll do my AMA impression that I've heard a lot of other people do, especially Willie. Any questions? Anyone have a topic they'd like to talk about? I don't have access to the private or anonymous form, so I couldn't see those, but I definitely, if anyone wants to bring up a subject matter or a topic that they feel we can discuss here, feel free. Smith, how you feeling about the feedback that you've gotten so far on your proposal for the work stream? Have you
I
gotten a lot or you want more? I mean, what's your feeling on
Oh,
it?
I think that the proposal is in good shape. We tried to build something solid, and we are following out the governance process. We are already received some good feedbacks. So we are pretty open, to discuss. The proposal is under ideation phase, so anyone can jump in forum and suggest and cast their thoughts there. But yeah, I'm really confident because basically we are proposing to merge two teams, right, from global and from Latin. So both teams have been performing a good job in terms of crossed flows. Like if you have a Latin team, this team will one way or another end up translating something from in a product, right? So like .com and the app. So why not strengthen these ties between both teams and merging just one, right? So yeah, that's why I'm confident because the team is, it's an amazing team that I can say that it's the best team that I worked for, the last years. Because it's people. I thought something like that. If we have a job description in our proposal, it doesn't mean that the contributor will only do that function because people isn't about just like working one talent, but I think this can escalate in multiple qualities and skills if everybody is working in a good environment, right? So some global translators are also able to operate DevOps, right? Like Firebomb. So he can translate and he can run some GitHub operations with engineering. That's great actually. And same goes for JP because he's a smart guy. He's an old guy in crypto, so we have a nice bond of trust between us. So he's always providing some valuable informations for the work stream. So that's the cool part about the global the global proposal. And I even mentioned that the events, right? So we can attend basically in every event circuit around the world. So yeah, this haven't been successful, right? So Vladis just came back from Paris with a lot of partnerships and ideas. So we are also working this front side, gathering more and more partnerships to DAO and integrating people and communities. So yeah, I know I talk too much to answer that a simple question, but that's the scenario. That's my vision about the scenario.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds definitely good, Smith. I look forward to it. Definitely appreciate all of the work that both teams have been accomplishing and doing, and the value that they've been adding as they continue to keep moving forward.
Yeah, really appreciate it. All the everyone who came to my DM, sending their supports and even in forum. So yeah, as I said, the proposal is under ideation phase. So any suggestion, everybody is free to speak your mind in forum, right? So yeah, I will be there also.
Awesome. Sounds great. And just wanted to clarify when I was talking about the Thor swapper stuff earlier that we are testing in ops. Still some fit and finishing stuff that has to be done for all of the other integrations that would go into it. So it is in a testing phase, but it's getting closer. But there is a little ways off for the actual being released and not behind a flag. It's going to be behind a flag for us to continue to test and make sure everything's working as it should be. And with that, I will welcome Willie Fox and Ocean. Welcome back, Ocean. And who else we have pop in here? Firebomb. Oh, we got Lindsay.
What's up,
We got Gray
Neverwise?
Machine. Hey guys, how's everything? Welcome back,
good.
Ocean.
Good. It's good to be back.
Best day ever. Glad to have Ocean back, and thank you guys. Thanks for facilitating the lunch call where we had a meeting run long.
No worries. I'll hand it off to you guys.
No, keep it going. I love this. Sounds like you guys are having a good discussion. Did we wrap up that topic? It sounds like we were talking about the globalization workstream proposal.
Mm-hmm.
Any
Yep.
thoughts or questions on that?
Yeah, I just had asked Smith how he feels, the feedback in the forum, and have the questions been coming in, and how does he feel about the process and where he's at? And he definitely has a good feeling for it and put a lot of work into it, so it sounds good.
+1.
Yes, for sure. It was a good conversation. We're just warming up, right? So we also talked about the torchain stuff that is coming up, right? So yeah, I'm passing the baton because I was answering never was question, with a huge talk, right? So I'm passing the baton.
Just want to give you a shout out, the Smith, for all the thought you put into that proposal and just how you've been responding to the questions. I think you're giving like a perfect example for how we should be open to questions and stuff, even when it's for like a very important proposal that is necessary for your work stream to continue operating. They've been good questions, and I think your answers have been fantastic. So really appreciate just the way you've been handling the proposal process.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would second that, Willie. Great point.
Go team.
Appreciate it, guys.
Shapeshift the world. Stoked too. Have you guys seen we've got br.shapeshift, fr.shapeshift, and es.shapeshift.com up and running. That's been a great joint effort between the global work stream and the foundation, just supporting with the stuff that the buttons we need to press on that end. But yeah, that's so far we're already seeing some strong traffic. We'll see if that's like continues or if it's just bots crawling us. We don't necessarily know that yet, but submitted the sitemaps and everything to Google, so we should start to see some of these pages get indexed and stuff, and we'll be able to see, now that we've got some analytics rocking, if we see an increase in traffic from these different places. So if this goes well, we can expand to some other languages, but that's been an exciting development just over the past week.
Yeah, that's awesome. Globalization for real.
For real.
Yeah, we are global actually, so we are becoming more and more global until it reach the entire world. Yeah, so it's happening.
Fox, yeah, one country at a time.
Question about the translation, where we can send like feedback on the actual translation. Like
yes.
there are some, like for Spanish, there are some words that are like literally translated from English to Spanish, and that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's a good question. We do have a focus thread, which everyone is welcome. We can reveal this process even before we push the PR and ShapeShift repository. So yes, we had a couple of trick situations regarding words, right? And even in French, not even in Spanish. And for Portuguese, which I'm reviewing, I also found some tricky words that we need to be careful and do a closer review, right? So as I told you, we have a thread in I will tag you there. And then before every pull request to the ShapeShift repository, we will ask for some review, right? So everyone will be able to access our Git localized environment and see the translations, the proposed translations, right? So we found this solution, to review and mitigate risks, maybe.
Yeah, you guys have a great process now for translations in the app. That was one that previously LPX was managing that, but just over the past week, the Smith and Firebomb have taken that over into globalization and worked with DeFi to kind of set up a new repo and everything, so that we got a new process for translations in app. Weglot's a little bit different. The ShapeShift.com tool basically the way it works, it will automatically do the translations at first whenever someone visits a page for the first time, and then we can go in and customize any of those auto translations. So the Smith, you also have like a thread, or is it the same thread for feedback for the .com?
Yeah, the .com, the Weglot is kind of similar with Git localized modus operandi, right? So they work in a pretty similar way. So I guess nobody will have any difficulty, to access the Weglot tool, which was kindly provided by the foundation. to start this translation. So we are starting with Spanish and French in addition to Portuguese, right? So we just started it today, so we'll get some results in a couple of days, and that this process can be revealed also, but it happens in live, in vivo, right? So it would be great if someone find any issue. Like if you find something, Darwin, you can jump in that thread that I tagged you, the global translation flow, and we can adjust, in a couple of seconds, right? In seconds, really quick. So that's why I'm asking some reviewers. I think Gomez can help us with the French language because he's also a native speaker, like and Firebomb as well. And I know that some conflict may happens because no, that isn't a Babel Tower, right? So people are we even like in my case in Brazil, we even don't know how to speak the correct Portuguese, right? So definitely we must break these language barriers in that focused thread, right? So I ask everybody who finds something in our native language and wants to point something to the global word stream is just simple. You just head to our channel and ask for us that will be with you helping in this issue.
Awesome. Thanks, Smith. Any other questions or thoughts on translations?
Sorry?
So just asking the group if there's any other questions.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Sounds like there's not. All right, let's open it up for any other questions or topics from anyone.
Yeah, about to throw something up on the forum, a new proposal for changing the way that we do ideation polling. We've been using the forum as a stopgap in place of Boardroom that hasn't been available since I don't know when. Maybe Willie has the date, but currently, if anyone can sign up for the forum and vote, they don't have to be a Fox holder. And we've lost the fidelity to one Fox equaling one vote that we have in Snapshot. So basically, this post or this proposal would modify the process. So we would use Snapshot for both the ideation poll as well as the final vote. So hopefully people think this is worthwhile. We've seen this has not happened yet, but theoretically someone could derail our governance process and prevent something from going to the Snapshot vote by signing up for a bunch of fake forum users and simply voting something down. So I think it's a risk that we should take seriously and fix, especially because the solution is so simple.
That's a great point, Ocean. I'm glad we're being proactive in this and appreciate you getting the forum post up. But yeah, it's a really great point that if somebody wanted to be malicious, they could just vote down everything in the forum on ideation, and we wouldn't even be able to pass a proposal potentially to even be able to update the governance process without battling them with a civil attack, which is not a situation we want to be in. So hopefully no one hears the recording and tries to do that before you get your proposal.
For sure. So yeah, if people have inputs, I'm about to post this, and happily, if there's other solutions that we can think of, I'm totally open to them. This is just the easiest one that I can think of that really requires no technical changes to our DAO stack or anything like that, and we can basically hit the ground running with. So yeah, I'll post it in a few minutes.
Thank you. Any other questions or thoughts on that proposal to move ideation to Snapshot? We look forward to seeing the proposal. And I don't want to give Ocean props. I feel like Ocean can crank out proposals faster than anyone I know. He always is like, hey, I have an idea for a proposal. And then 30 minutes later, while we've been on meetings the whole time, he's like, all right, I'm about to throw this up into the forum. Very impressive, sir.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. All right, any other questions or topics? I think I've got a related one. I could show you guys a sneak peek of this tool called Metaphoro, which is a Web3 replacement for Discourse, which is the tool we use for our forum. And it could potentially even be a replacement for Boardroom. I love those guys, but I know it's been a little buggy lately. And actually, a lot of the reasons we initially used Boardroom was because they were supposed to be building the top thing on the roadmap was to build a replacement for Discourse. We liked the ideation feature. They were supposed to be adding things like Colony and stuff so that we could really have everything on our in one governance portal, but they have pivoted a little bit, and the latest version has just been kind of buggy. I don't know if you guys have been experiencing that, but it's been a lot of like white screens or something went wrong type stuff that they say they're fixing, but we're not married to Boardroom or anything. We're always open to whatever tools are the best. And Metaphoro approached us and basically has already gone through, just as of last night, they migrated everything from our forum over to Metaphoro. So like all of the historical posts are in there, and they've released the ability to basically like log into your Discourse account on Metaphoro and connect it to your new account, which on Metaphoro is Web3. It's with your wallet that you sign in. And all the comments and stuff are stored on, I think it's Arweave, which is kind of like IPFS. So very much like focused on building the best forum and kind of like governance portal for DAOs, and have been really impressed so far with what they've shipped and how quickly they've shipped. You guys want to see a quick sneak peek?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Neroes. Cool. I'm going to share my screen. I'll post this link too if anyone wants to test it. Note that it's a test, but feel free to test and share feedback in the Metaphoro partner thread. All right, let's check it out. So I was just playing around with this, and I'll go ahead and sign out. I'll sign back in. You can see it's with your wallet, which is pretty cool. Or you can, I guess, do email. I'm not sure what this AR Connect is, Arweave Connect or something. But I'll just go ahead and connect with MetaMask. See, I'm in. I can go in and create a profile and stuff. One cool thing is that people can tip, so it's connected to your wallet. So they've got like tips built in. You can also like use NFTs in your wallet for your profile picture, which is fun. You can see in here we've got all of our topics from the forum are in here. So let's go ahead and see. Here's proposal discussion. You can kind of see where our current ideation stuff is, and I wonder what the polls look like in here, if the polls translated over. So the polls didn't carry forward. That's one thing that we should let them know.
I didn't have a poll on mine because it's just a draft.
Oh, okay. Good call. Let's see if the polls transferred over. Sure enough, they did. Very impressive what these guys have shipped. So if we're in ShapeShift, you can see we've got the forum stuff right here, and we also have Snapshot. So you can see all the proposals. You can vote directly from here, and you can comment on it. And you can tip. You can give a tip to the proposal creator and stuff. So again, just a lot of the same functionality that we have in Snapshot or Discourse, but even more, some extra functionality and all in one place. When you create a new topic, so let's say we're going to create a new topic in here. Again, it's got a lot of the same functionality that we would expect in Discourse, but there's some extra stuff too. So when you create a poll, you can create polls that only token holders who meet a certain threshold can vote on. We're about to ask them basically if they can take our same snapshot strategies and apply that here as a option, and or with this new, if the proposal that Ocean's making passes, have another option could be to have like the 2 snapshots in here. So our official governance snapshot and then our ideation phase. But again, people wouldn't have to go to Snapshot. They could, but they could access it all here. And yeah, this is just what they've shipped so far. So go ahead.
I was just going to ask, if you created a topic here, would that push it back into our Discourse right now, or would it just live within this this sample site?
That's a great question. As far as I understand, it would just be in this new site.
Okay.
So basically, like if we decided to move forward with this, we would basically do a final migration of all of the data from Discourse, and then like redirect forum.shapeshift.com to this basically, and sunset the old forum, which is one of the things that eventually we'll need to decentralize anyways. We'll either need to figure out a way for the DAO to own the admin account for the Discourse and pay the bills in fiat, or migrate to a decentralized alternative like Metaforum.
Mm-hmm. How far along are they, Willie? I mean, as a project, are they ready to push products live, or are they still in the building stages?
So they are live. This is the test instance, but we also had like a version I think already live that was on their prod site. So they are live. They are early stage, relatively early stage, but have already shipped so fast. And like I was blown away with how quickly they did this whole discourse migration. Once we said, yeah, like that would be one of the things we'd need to see to migrate over, would be to get all of our old stuff in there. One of the things we'd like to see. And then a week later, they're like, hey, it's live. We migrated all this stuff. So stuff like that always makes me bullish on migrating over to a project. Like not only do they have good stuff now, but they've got a great roadmap that's like in line with what we'd like to see. They're open to our feedback and they're able to ship really quickly. It's kind of a cool position to be in. It enables us to basically like get the benefits of as if we like were to build the ideal product for the DAO, but without having to build it, which is pretty cool and for free.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing, Willie. Definitely. I love how it breaks down the ShapeShift as far as members, topics, and all that stuff right there at the top. So you can definitely get a quick glance at where the the community is. No, thank you, Willie, for showing.
I do have Foxes. So there are some bugs still, to your point. Like I do have Fox. I don't know why it's not letting me tip. But yeah, thank you guys for checking it out. We'll keep exploring it just to make sure it's the right fit before we make any moves. And yeah, if anyone else wants to check it out and play around and leave feedback, please do. All right. Any other topics or questions from anyone? Ooh, I got a miscellaneous one. So we have been talking about partnerships and how we're currently handling that. As many of you know, we don't really have a dedicated partnership function at the DAO currently. We'd initially like considered or kind of envisioned having a partnerships work stream, but we've kind of always just handled that just with existing contributors, and we've never really had a dedicated point of contact, basically. So Hunt had a suggestion to basically create a new role, just a POC role, so that whenever a potential partnership opportunity arises, whether they're reaching out to us or somebody in the community finds something that they think we should explore, they basically have just a role that they can tag. And then the idea is that any existing contributors, any active contributors could volunteer for that role. We considered making it open to anyone, but decided it probably makes sense for those roles to be active in the day-to-day so that they have good context of what would be a good partnership or not. So yeah, I know GK just created the role. If anyone on this call is interested in being one of those volunteers for point of contact, so one of the people who does get tagged whenever there's a partnership opportunity and is open to moving those forward. Also, you don't have to know everything. Like there will be other volunteers such as myself that you can always ping for assistance if you have product or technical or other questions that you need help with. Any questions on that? Thoughts?
Is there going to be like a screening process that will implement it all for that? Just that way someone that doesn't have the best intent of the DAO isn't getting and pretending to be that kind of person?
So we talked about like a screening process. Where we landed in, and I guess it's still open to suggestions, is that the only threshold would be that you are like an active contributor to the DAO. So like a contributor to a work stream or to the foundation. So that we felt was a pretty good threshold. How do you feel about that, Ron? Do you think there needs to be additional? Do you think it'd be beneficial to have an additional process for like applying and vetting members of that role?
I feel like not every workstream member would know everything going on, exactly how stuff fits in. Some people are very siloed, so maybe we do need a step beyond that.
And I guess one thought I have is, shouldn't that be part of our product strategy? So that we're looking at how any potential partner is supplementing our product and working with what we're trying to make our product be, and sort of the lift that it creates for various teams and whether it's a good fit. Like if we don't have a dedicated person within product engineering looking at it, then we could just be signing on to a bunch of, partnerships that create a huge amount of lift on restricted teams, that maybe might not be of high quality.
I totally hear you, Lindsay. Certainly, like we would need to make clear to anyone who does opt into this role that if there's anything that's like product related and stuff, that should get product sign off before you commit to any kind of partnership there. I think the idea for this is definitely for basically product to be involved, but not every partnership is a product related thing. And product doesn't necessarily need to be the first point of contact because, again, to your point, we are also resource constrained basically. So, I think that is a risk that we should be cognizant of. We should do our best to mitigate it, and potentially we'll realize that okay, this POC role doesn't actually work, and we'll have to come up with something else, like potentially a dedicated point of contact on product, or potentially the partnerships work stream. But we did feel Diggy was on the call where we were just discussing this, and thought it was a good idea to try this out. I think those are good risks to be aware of, and if anyone strongly feels against this, open to objections. Basically, if we think we shouldn't go forward with this role, but right now, kind of what is happening is I often get tagged for a lot of these things, and I'm happy to respond. I can't help myself from responding to these types of things if you tag me, but I also want to recognize that I have a lot on my plate right now, and I don't think I'm doing all these partnerships justice if I'm like the main point of contact for all of them. So trying to get like, even if it's me being involved with a lot of these discussions and ready to answer product questions, or someone else from product being involved and ready to answer product questions, but still having like, I don't know, someone like HPain, for instance, has been a great assistance when we do have partnership conversations going, because a lot of the questions aren't necessarily product related, and once we have agreed that there's going to be a partnership on the product side, then a lot of it does turn into like the comms side.
Yeah. So just one additional thought is maybe we have just some kind of guidance document for whoever does it, sort of a decision tree, because every partnership may not have a product and engineering lift, but every single one has a communications lift. And so, and definitely has a lift on team members. So I'm just wondering if maybe we might want to just have some guidance when we're vetting partners of how do they benefit the DAO, and what is the payback versus the lift, and just give some guidance to people who are looking at partnerships of, how much work does this entail? How does it benefit us in terms of visibility, revenue, and a variety of metrics that we define as being beneficial, so that anybody who's playing this role can just take a look at it and say, yeah, great, this is fun. It seems like a great partnership from a number of different vectors, but does the payoff we get from it really outweigh the amount of lift that it'll take, and just provide some guidance to whoever's volunteering on it, just as a thought.
I completely agree. I love that thought. To your point, not everyone who wants to partner, it's not always worth our time and energy to invest in that. So we do need to be selective, right? We can't just partner with everyone who says, hey, let's partner. Or maybe we have to defer some of these and say, hey, we're open to this, but it's not a priority right now. A lot of the conversations I do have with partners is saying, this is, it does align with our roadmap, but right now it's not on our immediate roadmap. So if you're interested, like the best way to get integrated is to do the integration yourself, or to offer a bounty. But yeah, I love that idea. And another idea you just gave me on that too is like, maybe we just have kind of a dedicated POC from each work stream, kind of a representative for when there are these partnership discussions, every work stream that we think should be involved with these partnership discussions. And then that can kind of help make sure if there's any early objections from a work stream that like, hey, I don't think we should move forward with this, or anything relevant for their work stream, they can kind of be the dedicated POC for that work stream. And then we have a cross-disciplinary group that gets tagged whenever we have a new partnership opportunity. This has been great. Thank you for the feedback and suggestions. I think we can definitely incorporate those into this new experiment. Any other thoughts, ideas, questions? Cool. Stay tuned for that. More details on that POC role. We're just acting on that today. Any other questions, topics anyone would like to raise about anything? Vanessa, welcome. I saw you were just joined the community today. Thanks for joining the community Lunch and Learn. You want to give us a quick introduction? Hey, I would love to learn more about you and how you found ShapeShift and how, what you're interested in.
Yeah, funny. So my name is Vanessa. I am based out of South Florida. I found ShapeShift because I was doing some LinkedIn prospecting and Scott actually replied to me really quickly. And he was like, well, jump into the DAO because that's where we get everything done. And I love DAOs. So I was like, yeah, I'll jump into the DAO. And then that was pretty much it. I jumped in. Everyone's been pretty friendly with me in general. I'm still kind of learning. I want to learn about how I could get involved, what that could look like. Yeah, I hadn't really seen any DAO exchanges, so I'm really curious as to learn more and educate myself. Is this lunch a daily thing?
I wish we do it once a week. I'm sure we could talk
on
about
Wednesdays.
Yeah, every Wednesday at 12 to 1 Mountain Time.
Okay, cool, awesome.
Also, we aren't really an exchange anymore.
Ooh, okay. That's okay. Please tell me. I'm very new.
Yeah, who wants to explain? I'm happy to do it, but I'm sure many of us could give the TLDR.
Will, you have it pretty much perfected at this point.
Can you speak?
Broke
What did you say?
I said, Will, you pretty much have it perfected at this point. So.
Okay, sweet. So yeah, Vanessa, ShapeShift was an exchange when we first started back in 2014. We were the first non-custodial exchange. So the first way to trade crypto from your own wallet without having to deposit it onto a centralized exchange and then hopefully be able to withdraw it in the future. So it was started by Eric Voorhees right after Mt. Gox, when the biggest Bitcoin exchange at the time got hacked, and a lot of people learned the lesson for the first time: not your keys, not your coins. So that's always been our core value. When we first started in 2014, there was no KYC because there was not regulation that required crypto exchanges to operate like money service businesses and comply by all those regulations. So that initial exchange model was super successful. We were the top way to trade crypto from your own wallet for years. And then in 2018, we lost that status when we came to the conclusion that we needed to implement KYC to continue operating, at least in the United States. So we went down that path. We implemented KYC. We destroyed our exchange business. A lot of our integrators and users migrated to competitors that had popped up that were not based in the United States and took longer to start requiring KYC. That was one thing that we were ahead on that would have been better not to be necessarily the pioneer of. So we pivoted, we shapeshifted, and we started focusing at that time on, we'd already been focusing around that time that we implemented KYC on building the new version of ShapeShift, which was still using our existing exchange technology, but it was more of an interface where you could connect wallets. Initially, it was the KeepKey hardware wallet, which is a ShapeShift product, but also other wallets to manage your portfolio, to buy and sell crypto, to trade, and all in one place. And we basically, by 2020 came around and we saw the proliferation of DEXs like Uniswap. And we were like, oh my gosh, Uniswap is amazing. It's basically kind of fulfilling the original ShapeShift vision, better than we ever did because it's fully decentralized and permissionless and trustless. ShapeShift's not the counterparty to the trade. It's users interacting directly with smart contracts, which is incredible. So we embraced that change and we basically accepted that we had lost the trading war and we embraced DEXs. We integrated 0x to aggregate all of the Ethereum DEXs in January of 2021. And then in April, we launched an integration with Thorchain the day that Thorchain launched their mainnet protocol, which enabled Bitcoin and Ethereum and other assets to be traded cross-chain without any KYC. And after that, we basically stopped KYCing our users and we very quickly started focusing on fully decentralizing ShapeShift and our vision, which the DAO is focused on now, which is building the best interface to the decentralized universe. So one interface that aggregates protocols across chains, basically, and itself, an interface that itself is decentralized, because that's what we think needs to exist. In order for all these amazing decentralized protocols to get mass adoption and to be unstoppable, we need the interface to access them to be decentralized itself. So that's what we're focused on now at the DAO. You can still trade on ShapeShift, and we are aggregating DEX protocols like on Ethereum. So we have 0x. We just are about to launch the integration with CowSwap. We're also soon launching the integration with ThorChain on the new app, as well as with Osmosis. So one app where this will be pretty unique, where you can basically trade on all these decentralized exchange protocols across chain and get the best rates without any added fees. So we're taking that same philosophy and applying it to other popular DeFi categories, or even things like fiat on and off ramps. So right now on ShapeShift, you can buy and sell, you can trade, you can earn yield across a growing number of chains and protocols. And our vision is to support all the chains, all the wallets, and all the protocols. Everything we build is open source, community owned, and free.
And we're
Cool,
getting
even cooler than just an exchange, right? What are you gonna say, DeFi? Day, and we've laid over to aggregate these, and ideally for protocols to come integrate themselves. All right, how we do? I always go too deep. I think I need to do better on just like the short elevator pitch. But it's a long. We have a lot of history.
Actually, I think that was actually super interesting to listen to. So thank you. I actually appreciate all the depth that you just went into and all the explaining. Which like leads me to my next question, which is like, how do I see what's being built? Like how can I like how does the process work? And then like how could I like maybe see where I could fit best?
Just hang out with us.
Yeah,
Sorry, go
this
ahead,
is
Bob.
honestly a great place to start. Yeah, I'll post some links to answer your question for how do you see like what's in flight. I'm posting a link to our product roadmap as well as our product and engineering timeline, so you can kind of see like a bird's eye view of the features being built. We're very much a product focused DAO, but that's just on the product and engineering side. What do you think you'd be most interested in? I'll post a quick image of our workstream chart too, and then you can kind of see which workstream you'd be most interested in contributing to.
Okay, cool.
Do you see
Thank
the stage
you.
chat, Vanessa? Can you see the stage chat?
I actually do not see it.
Let me tag you there.
Yeah, if you scroll all the way up to the top, you'll see stage ShapeShift DAO stage chat and the stage itself.
Awesome. Found it. Okay, cool. Yes. Okay, so the Notion doc, yes. Let me take a look.
Foxbot posted looking to help the DAO. It's actually a really interesting question. So the way I posted that diagram that shows our work streams, and the way that we're structured is each of these work streams is a sub DAO and has their own treasury that they can allocate. So, and they can choose to allocate that to full-time contributors, to bounties, to agencies, and we have work streams doing all of the above. Contributing to work stream is just one way to contribute to a DAO. You can also just make a proposal. You could also just you could pick up a bounty. You could talk to a workstream leader if you have an idea, and say like, hey, here's what I want to do. Here's what I'd like to get paid. Do you agree to this? All those are on the table. And if you have better ideas for how we can coordinate all this stuff too, we're open to that as well.
Very cool. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not an engineer by trade, but I do a lot of community building. I have like experience in marketing as well. But I will definitely look around and see, because this is really very interesting.
Yep. We also have an event calendar all the way up the top if you scroll, and a lot of community events will be listed there, or daily events. We usually have weekly calls that happen on a regular. There you go. Willie's on top of it. And where you can kind of come in, hang out, hear the discussions, similar to the AMA. Some of them are more structured to where it's asking questions on the stage or raising your hand to be invited up to speak. But we definitely have a lot of community events that will be on different topics, from governance to specific work streams to just open office hours to where we allow people to kind of hear what's going on. So yeah, feel free to just check out any of those things that interest you.
Awesome. So glad that you found us. It's been interesting to hear your story too, Vanessa. So really great, really just encouraging to hear that you jumped into the DAO, you got welcomed, you ended up on the launch call, and that you're interested in potentially getting involved. Love to hear that, and that's the dream. So thanks for making our dreams come true.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for being so open and friendly. And, taking your time to kind of like walk me through this. It's actually really cool. You guys really do have a lot of stuff already set up. So I can just I literally just need to like show up and ask questions, and you can just kind of direct me to where I want to go. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Glad to have you here. And yeah, in case if this is your first Lunch and Learn, just a reminder, we basically do this meeting once a week. Anyone can ask anyone anything. It's just a safe space to ask questions. Typically, questions related to like crypto or the DAO are the best, but anything's on the table. We also have an anonymous form in that stage chat channel where you can submit questions anonymously if you prefer. And on that note, I'll go ahead and check to see if there's any anonymous questions. In the meantime, does anyone have any questions they'd like to ask publicly? Or any topics they'd like to raise? Okay, I'll ask a question. What are you excited about? Anyone want to take that? And anything ideally crypto related, but can be anything? DeFi, what do you think of that transaction decoder?
That was rad. When we do that blockchain activity thing, like it encompasses a few things, right? So we're going to need it for Thorchain for trades. Like, currently we just showed transaction history. For Thorchain, like a trade can have 2 transactions. So that would be one kind of like activity that we could display. EPNS came up in governance a while ago. I got to pronounce that correctly for this call. Ethereum push notification service. That would be another thing. And then similarly, we could like leverage that for either like trades or just other transactions. I think that could be fairly easy lift to get more. And I like the way that they're doing like the community sourced approach for that there's an extremely long tail of different like contracts and interactions, and the maintenance burden to try and keep that up to date is enormous. So having like a community sourced and updated, like API or list of that kind of stuff would be great. So like I feel like we would tackle all of that stuff kind of at the same time. So that whole blockchain activity thing. Do you want to give the product pitch? I know it's been a month or two since we kind of discussed that, but what you view that blockchain activity is looking like from a product perspective?
Yeah, absolutely. Just some context, we're talking about this cool transaction decoder thing that Metagame launched today, and it's all open source, and it's basically a way just to take like all of these different transactions that you might be doing on your wallet and make them human readable. So it's not just like, sent 0.218 ETH or sent 0 ETH, and it's like you have no idea what actually happened. It's actually like adding, being able to parse and translate these transactions into human readable data. So that's pretty cool, and definitely kind of in line with this blockchain notification feed we've been thinking about. So, and actually DeFi, we have a call with EPNS and Warm on Tuesday morning that we just scheduled, and we're talking about basically the best way to integrate this. And EPNS is willing to do the integration for us. Warm also is kind of a tool on top of that allows you to basically like take all your EPNS notifications. EPNS notifications are notifications that can be triggered based on blockchain activity as well as APIs. Right now we have a channel where you can subscribe to the ShapeShift EPNS channel. There's also channels for Snapshot and for Compound and for a bunch of other apps that you can subscribe to, but you only get those notifications like in the EPNS app. So we were already looking at using EPNS just for our own notifications, basically. So like we had push notifications in the last mobile app. We no longer have those push notifications as we move towards decentralizing everything and replacing the legacy centralized app with a decentralized app. And Ethereum EPNS is basically like the solution to be able to still send push notifications, both from like blockchain activity, like you just received 1 ETH, as well as like third-party push notifications. So we can send custom notifications, like when we release a new feature, or if we have any APIs that we can plug into, we could also use those to send notifications. And we could even have them show up both as push notifications, like in the native mobile app, as well as in like an activity feed in the app. So you can imagine like a notification feed. And the cool thing here is like we're chatting with DPNS. They're really excited about this, about not just displaying all of your ShapeShift notifications, but notifications for any channel that you're subscribed to. And we could potentially also have the UI to be able to subscribe to channels. So yeah, pretty exciting. It's something that we were already thinking about. It wasn't an immediate priority, but now EPNS, they're really excited about it. And they are interested in doing the development work. It's interesting because we're also talking to Warm, which is like a tool on top of EPNS that basically enables you to still get EPNS notifications in email if you want to, or Discord. And it's cool because we wouldn't actually have to like see any of those emails. All we see is the wallet addresses for our subscribers. And to subscribe, you literally sign a message with your wallet. And then Warm handles basically like associating wallets with emails, and Discord handles and sending those notifications. So we got this call on Tuesday with them to talk about kind of like how would they play together? What does the optimal integration look like in ShapeShift? And then see, EPNS has already said they're willing to do the development work for EPNS. We were going to ask Warm if they'd be willing to do the development work for Warm, so they could be like a great reference example for their new product. And DeFi, if you're available, would love to have you on that call.
Yeah, please flick me the invite. Next Tuesday morning, you said?
Yep, exactly.
What time?
9 a.m. It's going to be an early one.
I've got a 9, but I can probably move it.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Really appreciate that. Should be a fun one. And yeah, I'm excited about that. I think it'd be great. It'd be great just for our own users to not have to go download another app to get notifications, and to be able to get them both as like push notifications, potentially email and Discord messages, as well as display all those notifications in our app, and then be like the interface to EPNS, so that instead of having to go download EPNS, you can just use ShapeShift basically as your primary interface and get all your notifications right there, and through whatever, push notifications or emails if you want. Pretty cool feature, but one of those things that wouldn't necessarily be prioritized right now with all the other great stuff we have on the roadmap. So yeah, also just really encouraging to see projects like EPNS that are like super excited to potentially do the integration for us.
You want to talk roadmap for a second?
Yes.
So one of my big focuses has been with slightly reduced engineering capacity, like closing out a lot of stuff that we got in progress. So like CowSwap, we're kind of wrapping up loose ends there. Litecoin, so Doge is now live in production. I think we can talk about that in this call. We haven't done marketing for it yet, but yeah, you can now send or receive, view your balance, transaction history, pricing, everything for Dogecoin, which is pretty cool. And Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash are probably going to be like code complete this week. I think it's reasonable to expect those to come next week. And then like once kind of at a more high level, Thorchain will be like, there's probably another 2 weeks of engineering effort there. And then we're getting pretty close to parity at that point. So like I feel, Willie, that like we could start looking at stuff like this blockchain activity thing and really doing the more like compete with Zapper type thing, like cross-chain. There's a bunch of other like little features that are kicking off, like bringing the Fox farming and LP stuff into the Fox page. But like there's a lot of like really cool user-facing features that are landing at the moment. So like that's once we've like really hit that parity thing, which has been a big thing for a long time, and Ocean can speak to like the foundation contracting out the new mobile app, which is a wrapped version of app.shapeshift.com. We're like kind of either parity or exceeding what we could do with beta in the previous mobile app, with a lot less complexity and cost and lines of code to boot. And then we can start really looking at like those other like kind of portfolio displaying things that a lot of these other apps do. So I feel like within the next couple of months, once we kind of reach that parity, we will be getting into a lot more like cool user-facing value add type stuff. If you feel the same about where we're at, Willie, but that's my feeling from the engineering side at least.
Beautifully said, DeFi. Oh, it's music to my ears. I'm so happy that all these really cool features are finally coming together. I know a lot of them have been in progress for a while, so it's really exciting to see them come together. And I think these are the types of features where we can really start to expect seeing some product market fit. If anyone's interested in talking a little bit more about this, we got product office hours tomorrow, and I think we're going to share a little bit more of like the data we're starting to see so far on the new app, which has been kind of more users than we expected so far, which is exciting to see. But still a lot of room for growth. Just once we can sunset these legacy apps, we still have a lot of users there. So once we can migrate them to the new version, that'll be significant growth, and we very much expect to see growth going forward in our core metrics on the new app. Speaking of displaying deep protocols too, we had such a great product brainstorm yesterday, and we think we're on track for like a better way to, even better than Zapper and Zerion, for just displaying all of your different positions in your portfolio and DeFi stuff across chains. So pretty excited to continue to flesh that out and share the mockups with you guys once we're ready. I'm excited. That's one that I'm super excited about personally. That's sick. One question on parity. So it's awesome that we're getting the UTXOs in. Do we have BNB and Rune, which are Cosmos zones? Do we have support for those yet? Prioritized, basically.
Yeah, it's a good question. Because Rune's one of the like native assets that we did support. We would have to run the like, so on the Unchained side, easy. In kind of the middle, we understand we've got like, forgive me for getting technical, but like a Cosmos SDK base adapter. So like the Osmosis guys didn't really have any trouble adding like Osmosis support like we did Cosmos originally, and then so like Atom is supported, Rune, like both of those are like core assets on Thorchain. So we don't have it yet, but like I would, I guess, defer to product. I feel like there's a lot of like synergies with ShapeShift and Thorchain that we should add native Rune support as the next kind of asset there, and we kind of get some infrastructure stuff for free too. We haven't started, but yeah, like that would be kind of towards the end of the parity stuff, like bringing over those UTXO coins. I think a lot of users are asking about Beesh and Doge and Litecoin. So that'll get us the lion's share of the way there. And I don't think that adding Thor is particularly difficult.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm excited to hear that. And BNB, that's another one that we do support in beta.shapeshift.com and is also a Cosmos SDK zone. So yeah, hopefully all the groundwork we've laid with Cosmos makes those relatively easy lifts. Yeah, just thought of that. So we can figure out exactly where those sit on priority level. But cool. It's very exciting. I can't wait for this parity and to migrate everyone to the new app and just be focused on that, and then be able to focus on new stuff instead of playing catch up. Yeah. Sweet. Well, we are at the top of the hour. We went 1 minute over. Appreciate